Stonehaven Harbour. Stonehaven Harbour has a long history and was used as a haven, or safe place, for settlements long before even Agricola, the famous Roman general, used it when he came north in AD 84 to suppress and subjugate Galgacus, the Celtic ruler of Caledonia. The harbour and the town of Stonehaven, or Stonehive, more than likely took its name from the large rock in the middle of the harbour. However, it was also known for many centuries as Stinkhive by Scandinavian seafarers and traders because of the prestigious smell from the tanning hides within the town, its unsavoury sanitation and accommodation of pirates and picaroons or rogues. The first part of the harbour development was undertaken by the 5th Earl Marshal of Dunnottar in the early part of the 17th century. This was improved by the 9th Earl in 1700 with the completion of the North Pier. On the north part of the harbour, or North Quayside, is the toll booth built by the 5th Earl Marshal in 1570, the harbour offices and outer seawall. In 1754, as a prelude to developing the south side of the harbour, the clearing of numerous stones that fouled the harbour bed was undertaken. This was done by the citizens of Stonehaven. Over 200 were listed by the town managers to do the work, and very few defaulted. One who did was a Robert Burns, cousin to the famous Robbie Burns, whose father, grandfather and great-grandfather lived and farmed around the Stonehaven area. Further developments to the south part of the harbour would have to wait until 1812 and the removal of the huge rock, Craig Macair in Gaelic, that sat in the middle of the harbour by Robert Louis Stevenson's grandfather, a renowned civil engineer of the time, employed by the Stonehaven Town Council to remove it. After the blasting of the rock, the Stonehaven fishing industry began to progress, particularly herring fishing. By 1875, the Stonehaven fishing fleet comprised of 88 vessels, some 200 fishermen. At its peak in 1900, over 200 vessels employed nearly 1,000 men and 300 women. The women, the silver darlings, baited lines, mended nets, and gutted the fish. It is difficult to imagine today how busy Stonehaven Harbour was in those days. Fish landings were 12 to 15 million tonnes. 25 carters carried the fish away, while 5 coopers furnished the barrels needed on site. It was said that the harbour was so full of fishing boats that a person could walk across them from one side of the harbour to the other. Naturally, fishing became the mainstay economic activity within the Stonehaven community. However, by the 1930s, all that had virtually disappeared with the advent of steam, motor trawlers, foreign competition, which fished out the herring shoals. Today the harbour is home to the quayside pubs, marine and pleasure boats, with the odd vessel here and there employed in catching lobsters and shrimps.